See, we are going to study about the application of Kirchhoff's laws today. One of the application, we are stating it as Wheatstone's bridge or Wheatstone's network. So using Kirchhoff's laws, we are going to obtain the balancing condition of the bridge. How or what do you mean by this Wheatstone's network or Wheatstone's bridge? Let us see. The Wheatstone's network consists of 4 junctions. Let us represent the 4 junctions as A, B, C, and D. Across the 4 junctions, there are 4 resistances. The 4 resistances that were connected across these junctions are represented as P, Q, R, and S. So across the 4 junctions A, B, C, D, we are connecting 4 resistances P, Q, R, and S. In between the 2 junctions B and D, a galvanometer is connected. A galvanometer is a device to indicate the flow of electrical current. If there is a flow of electrical current, it will get deflected. If not, there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Similarly, across the junction A and C, across the junction A and C, we have to connect a battery and a key. So this arrangement we are taking or calling it out as the Wheatstone's network. Here, the current that is coming out of the battery having an EMF E is I. The current coming out from the battery is I. The current, when it reaches this junction a part of the current flows through P and another part of the current is flowing through R. The current that is flowing through P, after reaching B, it is again separated into 2. A part flowing through the galvanometer and another part of the current flowing through Q. The current that is passing through B reaches the point D. Similarly, the current that passes through R also reaching the point D. After both of these currents are reaching the point D, again, the current passes through S. After reaching C, the currents through Q and current through S after reaching S or after reaching the point C, they will be again passing through and reaches the point what? And it reaches the point called to be minus or negative. So this arrangement, we are calling it out as the Wheatstone's network. You just consider a current of I1 ampere is passing through P, then a current of I2 ampere passing through R, I3 ampere passing through Q, IG ampere passing through G, and I4 ampere passing through S, and the current again leaving the circuit is I. The current entering the circuit is I. After branching in different resistors, again the current that is leaving out is considered to be I. So this arrangement, we are calling it out as the Wheatstone's bridge or Wheatstone's network. See, what is the description? Point number 1. The Wheatstone's network consists of 4 junctions. Let us name it out as A, B, C, D. Then the second point, let P, Q, R, and S are the 4 resistors connected across the junction. Then point number 3, across the junction A and C, a battery of EMF E and a key K are connected. Point number 4, a galvanometer G is connected across the junction B and D. And let I1, I2, I3, I4, and IG are the currents passing through P, R, Q, S, and G respectively. This is what we are calling it out as the description. What we are going to determine? We are going to determine the balancing condition for the bridge. When the bridge is said to be balanced. See, we can say the bridge is balanced. The bridge is balanced if the current through the galvanometer is equal to 0. If the current passing through the galvanometer is equal to 0 means no deflection in the galvanometer. No deflection is produced in the galvanometer or in the galvanometer, or if there is no current is flowing through the galvanometer means junction B and junction D should be at same potential, or we can say junction B and junction D should be at same potential, at same potential. If so, the bridge is said to get balanced. So in order to get the condition, the nature of the resistances, we have to apply this. That is, by considering the current through the galvanometer as 0, we are going to get the relation between the 4 resistors. Now, you just apply the Kirchhoff's first law to this junction B and to this junction D. So when I am applying Kirchhoff's first law to the junction B, the current I1 is flowing towards the junction. So I have written it as plus I1. The current IG is flowing away. So minus IG. Current I3 is flowing away. So I have written minus I3 is equal to 0. Sum of the currents meeting at the junction is 0. If the current is towards the junction, it is positive. And if it is away, it is negative. So I got the equation at junction B as I1 minus IG minus I3 equal to 0. Now, let us go for the second one. To apply the Kirchhoff's first law at the junction D. Now, the current I2 is flowing towards the junction. So, plus I2, IG is flowing towards the junction, plus IG, and I4 is flowing away from the junction. So, minus I4 equal to 0. Applying Kirchhoff's second law to the closed path A, B, D, A, I am starting from A to B. The product of current and resistance is I1 into P. See, the product of current and resistance I1 and P is positive since the direction of current and the direction of path are same. Then the direction of path is from B to D. The current is also in the same direction. So again, the product is plus. Product of what? Product of current and resistance. Current is IG and resistance is G. Then in the third arm, the direction of the path is D2A, but current is flowing in opposite side direction. So I am putting the product as minus. Product of current and resistance. Current is I2 and resistance is R. Should be equal to. So the algebraic sum of product of current and resistance is equal to EMF. But in this closed path A, B, D, A, there is no EMF. So the EMF applied is equal to 0. Let us consider this as equation number 3. Applying Kirchhoff's second law to the closed path A. So, okay, closed path A, B, C, D, A. Now, the current I1 passing through this AB. So the direction of the path and the direction of the current are same. So product of current and resistance I1 into P is positive. Then B to C. Direction of path is B to C. Direction of current is also B to C. So path and the current are in same direction. So product of current and resistance is again positive. I3Q plus I3Q. And in the third arm, that is C to D, the direction of current is opposite to the direction of path. So the product is negative. So I am writing minus of I4S. Then finally, it is moving from D to A. The path is D to A. Direction of current is minus, opposite. So I am writing the product is of minus, or minus of I2S is equal to what? Is equal to 0. This is what we are considering the application of two Kirchhoff's laws to get 4 equations. Now, in order to get the bridge to be balanced, as I have already told, there should be no current flowing through the galvanometer. So I am writing to get the bridge balanced. Okay, to get the bridge balanced, we have to consider the current through the galvanometer Ig equal to 0. That is, junction B and junction D should have same potential. Should have same potential. If that is the case, the bridge is said to be balanced. So the current through the galvanometer should be equal to 0 for balancing of the bridge. Means you apply this value Ig equal to 0 in equation 1, in equation 2, and also in equation 3. So I am writing, put Ig equal to 0 in equation 1, equation 2, and in equation 3. Come on, substitute in equation 1. When you are considering this equation 1, you will be getting I1 minus Ig becomes 0 minus I3 equal to 0. Therefore, I am getting the relation I1 is equal to I3. Take this as equation number 5. Then you apply it in equation number 2. When you are applying it in equation 2, I2 plus Ig becomes 0 minus I4 equal to 0. So on simplifying, I can get I2 is equal to I4. Let us take this as equation number 6. Then you apply it in the third equation. You see, the first term is I1P. Then the second term is IgG. Ig is 0. So the second term becomes 0 minus of I2R equal to 0. Now on simplifying, I can get I1P is equal to what? I1P is equal to I2R. Let us consider this as equation number what? Equation number 1. So substituting equation 7 in 4. Substituting equation 7 in equation 4. Seventh equation at the fourth equation substitute pannunga. You see, I1P, okay, I am writing it as I1P plus I3Q minus I4S minus, see, I2 can be written as I1, isn't it? I1P can be written as I2R, or I can write it out as this is R, not S, isn't it? I2 is considered to be R. See, I2 is passing through, the resistance is passing, the resistance that is, or the current I2 passing through the resistance R. Here we have made a mistake, so this should be R. So I2R is equal to I1P. So here I am writing it as I1P equal to 0. So plus I1P and minus I1P will get cancelled. So I am getting the equation as I3Q minus I4S is equal to 0. Or I can write I3Q is equal to I4S. Take this as equation number 8. Hope you should understand. Divide equation 8 divided by equation 7. Equation 8 divided by equation 7. See, on the left hand side of equation 8, I am having I3Q by the left hand side of equation 7, I can write I1P is equal to, on the right hand side, I am getting I4S. For equation 7, I am getting it as I2 into R. Here you use equation 5 and equation 6. See, in equation 5, I1 is equal to I3. So this I3 and this I1 will get cancelled. Similarly, in equation 6, I2 and I4 are equal. This I4 and I2 get cancelled. So what is the remaining available? The remaining available is Q by P is equal to S divided by R. Taking an reciprocal for this, we can say P divided by Q is equal to R by S. Ratio of the resistances in first term and the second arm P by Q is equal to ratio of resistances in third arm as well as in the fourth arm. This equation represents the condition for what? The condition for balancing. What do you mean by this? That is, if the ratio of the resistances, see, we have drawn the diagram like this. This is P, this is Q, this is R, and this one is S, isn't it? This is P, this is Q, this is R, this is S. In between them, you are having the galvanometer. In between these two junctions, you are having battery and a key. So this is A, this is B, this is C, and this is D. See, the path in which the P is available, that is called to be first arm. Then this one called to be second arm. Then this one taken to be third arm. And this one taken to be fourth arm of the bridge. So here, what is the condition? P by Q. Ratio of the resistances in the first arm and in the second arm is equal to the ratio of resistances in third arm and the fourth arm. If they are equal, if the ratios of the resistances are equal, then junction B and junction D are at same potential, or there is no flow of electrical current through the galvanometer, so no deflection available in it. Okay, let us summarize the Wheatstone's network. Just look at the diagram. When you are considering the Wheatstone's network consists of 4 junctions: A, B, C, and D, across which we are having 4 resistances: P, Q, R, and S. Now, across the junction A and C, you are having a battery and a key connected. Across the junction B and D, a galvanometer is connected. Then we are having what? We are having some resistances. That when you are considering that resistances, then we can say what? Then we can say the current flowing through the resistances. Let I1, I2, I3, and I4 or the current through the different resistances. That is through P, the current passing through is taken to be what? The current passing through is taken to be I1. Through R, the current passing through is I2. And through Q, the current passing through is I3. And through S, the current that is passing through is taken to be what? The current passing through is taken to be I4. Now you apply Kirchhoff's first law and the second law. Apply Kirchhoff's first law to junctions alone. They are having 2 junctions. So 4 junctions. In that, let us consider 2 junctions. That is the junction B and junction D. At junction B, when you are applying the Kirchhoff's first law, current flowing towards the junction is taken as positive, and current flowing away from the junction is taken as negative. So I can say plus I1 minus IG minus I3 equal to 0. Similarly, at D, plus I2 plus IG minus I4 equal to 0. Then you apply Kirchhoff's second law to the junction A, B, D, A. Now, the current passing through P is I1P. The direction of the path and the direction of the current are same. So, product of current and resistance is positive. So, plus I1P. Then, in the second arm also, current IG flowing through G in the same path and same direction of current. So, IGG. But I2 is flowing in a direction opposite to that of the path. So, minus I2R equal to 0. Then apply the Kirchhoff's second law to the junction A, B, C, D, A. What will be the answer? I1, product of current and resistance, I1P positive. Then I3Q positive. But I4S and I2R are in the opposite side direction to the path. So they are negative. So I can write I1P plus I3Q minus I4S minus I2R is equal to 0. Now, we are going to apply the balancing condition. In order to get the bridge to be balanced, there should not be any deflection in the galvanometer. If there is no deflection in the galvanometer, means current passing through the galvanometer is equal to 0. The current passing through the galvanometer should be 0, means the junction B and junction D are at same potential. If there is a difference in potential, there will be a flow of current from higher to lower. If both junctions are said to be at same potential, then the flow of electrical current is 0. So by considering the current through the galvanometer as 0, you apply that value Ig equal to 0 in the equation 1, 2 and 3. So when you are applying it in equation 1, I can get I1 minus I3 equal to 0. So I1 is equal to I3. Similarly, in the second equation, I2, Ig becomes 0. So I2 minus I4 equal to 0. Or I can write I2 equal to I4. Apply it in equation 3. I1P plus 0 minus I2R equal to 0. Or I can write I1P minus I2R equal to 0. Or I1P equal to I2R. Now, you take this seventh equation and substitute in equation 4. Nothing but you replace I2R with I1P, because in the seventh equation, I2R is represented as I1P. So you replace I2R with I1P. You will be getting the equation as I1P plus I3Q minus I4S, and the fourth term alone, instead of minus I2R, I am putting minus I1P, which is equal to 0. On simplifying, I1 plus I1P and minus I1P will get cancelled. So I will be getting I3Q minus I4S equal to 0, or I3Q equal to I4S. Now you divide equation 8 by equation 7. So when you are dividing equation 8 by equation 7, we can write I3Q divided by I1P equal to I4S by I2R. Equation 8 on the left hand side, equation 8 on the right hand side. Similarly, equation 7 on the left hand side, equation 7 on the right hand side. From equation 5 and 6, it is clear that I1 and I3 are equal. So I1 and I3 got cancelled. Similarly, from equation 6, I2 and I4 are equal. So I2, I4 cancel. So the remaining that I am getting is Q by P is equal to S by R. Taking and reciprocal, we can get P by Q equal to R by S. So in order to get the bridge balance, that is no current flowing through galvanometer, or current through the galvanometer equal to 0, or the junction B and junction D are said to be in same potential, means the ratio of resistances in the first two arm P and Q is equal to the ratio of resistances in third and fourth arm R and S. So condition is P by Q is equal to R divided by S. What it is given? 4 resistors are given. What are the 4 resistors? The value of P is considered to be 100 ohm. The value of Q is considered to be 1000 ohm. Value of R is equal to 40 ohm. And you are asked to calculate the value of S if the bridge is balanced. If the bridge is balanced, that is the problem. See, we have already studied that if the bridge is balanced, we have told now only that if the bridge is balanced, then we can say, we can state P divided by Q equal to R divided by S. In this equation, I am in need of S. On cross multiplying, I will be getting R into Q divided by P. Substitute, what is the value of R? It is 40. Q, it is 1000. Divided by P, it is 100. So 2 digits. Here you can able to cancel 2 digits. So the value of S is equal to 400 ohms as the answer. So this is the problem number 2.23. The circuit diagram is given as it is in the book. Here the value of P is equal to 500 ohm. Then value of Q is considered to be 800 ohm. What is the value of R? See, value of R, you are having 2 resistances. See, the 2 resistors are in series. In this, one of the resistance is X and another resistance is 400. So the total resistance of the arm where you are having the resistance R is considered to be sum of the 2 resistances, since the 2 resistances are in series. If they are in parallel means then you have to calculate 1 by Rp, and finally from that you have to calculate Rp and you have to write. And the value of S is equal to 1000 ohms. So the question asked is under balancing condition. Okay, question asked is under balancing condition, what is the value of X? So what is the value of X? Let us calculate. See, as we know, under balancing condition, the result is P divided by Q should be equal to R divided by S. Substitute, it is 500 by Q, it is 800, is equal to, what is R? R is X plus 400 divided by 1000. So you simplify to get the value of X. Make a cross multiplication. X plus 400 equal to, see, already you are having 500 divided by 800 into 1000. So this can be cancelled. So I can write X plus 400 is equal to 5000 divided by 8. So on simplifying this, what is your value? You can write like this, 2500 divided by 4, or when you are dividing 6 4s are 24. So 2, then 5. So I can write like this, X plus 400, isn't it? X plus 400 is equal to 625. So what is the value of X? 625 minus 400. So the value of X is equal to 225 ohm as its answer. Any difficulty?
No, sir.
Hope you should have understood. So you can copy it out.